Hello, my name is HAPruitt, and last time I told you that God was going to do something amazing. Before I tell you what that amazing thing was, I have to tell you that everything that led up to it was very much not amazing. So Scott's mother passed away in the spring of 2018, and because it was so sudden and unexpected, she had not determined what would happen to everything that she owned. And so everything had to go to court, and Scott and I had to pay for all kinds of things, and all that was up in the air too, of if we would get the money back or if we would have to pay the lawyer even more money. And so everything was up in the air, and if we would get to keep our house was up in the air. And it stayed in the legal system until next year, almost a whole year, in the May of 2019. And so that whole time when we were trying to take care of everything, we had no idea if it was going to end up we just have to give more of ourselves and give more of our money and be completely homeless and out of everything, or what. For a whole year, it was all up in the air. And also during that whole year, Scott and I were also still trying to help my mother sell my grandmother's house. And that just wasn't working at all. We put it up on several places, but it was a good old sturdy house, but nobody wants to buy a house outright. They want to rent it, and so just nobody wanted it. So we had no idea what was going on with his mom's estate. We had no idea what was going on with my grandma's estate, and it just looked like nothing was happening during all that time. We knew God was taking care of us. We knew God was providing for us. He was doing it in beautiful little tiny ways all the way through. But the big things just seemed so up in the air, and we just kept praying. And like I said, I just kept praying that God would abundantly provide, and He kept coming through. And every time I got discouraged about anything, just another little sparkle of light would show up and show me that God was still taking care of it all. He was still helping everything go along smoothly. But my mom got impatient because it had been a long time since we had started trying to sell my grandmother's house. And she got impatient, and around February, March 2019, one day she called me and she told me that she had sold my grandmother's house. And that was kind of a shocking disappointment because she had sold it for a third of the amount that Scott and I were trying to sell it for. We had put tons of work into trying to sell it for a good amount, and she just got rid of it as soon as she could, and that was so sad because I wanted her to have better. But she wasn't tired of waiting, so she did what she wanted, and that was okay. And when I was on the phone with her, when she told me that, all I could say was okay, because I was so shocked. And when I got off the phone, I remember feeling just so disheartened because I realized that for more than a year, that was the way that I thought God was going to provide for my book, that He was going to pay for it with that. And it was gone. There was no way now. That was less than the amount to publish the book, and there was just no way. And for a couple minutes, I felt like there was just no way. But then I remembered that God made a way in that Red Sea for all those people where there was no way. That He took care of it all on His own perfectly and amazingly so everyone could see it was Him. I remembered what God had told me when I was studying for that Bible study in Exodus 14:14, that I just needed to let God show up and provide the way God wanted to. And at that moment, it looked like there was no way. But I knew God was going to show up. I knew He was going to provide. And after those couple minutes after I got off the phone, I called Scott, I talked to him, and I got that back in me. I got that assurance back in me that God was going to take care of it. He was, and He was going to show up. And it was going to be amazing. So I'll tell you about that next time.